Hello, my beautiful friends. This is Kelsey with Youngblood Tarot, and I am doing your Friday vibe check right now. But if you do happen to see this video later, just know that it was meant to find you at the time it was meant to find you. So this message will be relevant for you right now. I wanted to start out by telling you about a vision I had. So in the vision, there was a person and their head was wrapped in these black bands, and the black bands were circling over their head round and round, and on top of the black bands were chains, and the person was grabbing at the chains trying to pull them off, but every time they grabbed, they came back around, they circled back around, and this person was blinded and suffocated by this. Pretty disturbing vision, but I feel like the message here is that you are fighting for your life right now to escape something that has been plaguing you for a long time. It's been a circular pattern. So it could be addiction, it could be a toxic cycle of relationships, codependent relationships. It could be something as simple as getting caught up in mindless scrolling, letting that true human part of yourself, that soul essence, get drowned out by all the noise, by all the news, by all the mindless content, and that this is maybe a cycle for you that you have broken out of before. But those chains are relentless, those black energy bands are relentless, and I feel that they're coming after you again. And I feel like it's super important for you at this time to finally break the chains, to finally break the cycle. This is your opportunity. And I pulled this card earlier. It says, do what you need to do, card 11. I've been seeing 11 all over the place. Like, I didn't used to be a person who paid attention to angel numbers. But when it's so constant in your life, it starts to feel like, okay, this is a sign, this means something. And when I pulled this card today, what came to mind is that you are ready at a soul level to jump into your destiny. You are ready to jump into your higher purpose, into your North Node, like we talked about last week. But there are simple things, foundational things that are holding you back. So it says, yes, it may be difficult, but now is the time. And I think we can underestimate how much those things that we've put on the back burner, those deadlines, those little problems, how much they weigh on us, how much they add into our daily anxiety, and how much they can really hold us back from what we're meant to do. Sometimes it feels like we're putting in so much effort to get into the next level, and there's a barrier, there's a block. And the message today from Spirit is that barrier, that block, it's those foundational things. It's those things that we're trying to skip past. We can't get to the next level until this level is completed. And that's what Spirit's saying to you today, that there are still some things that are left undone. For me, it's those tasks that are monotonous, like forms, paperwork, or that give me anxiety, like making phone calls, trying to schedule appointments, things like that. But I do feel that completing those items would lead to such a feeling of lightness and freedom that it's worth it to power through that and get those things done. So that way we're ready for the next level, because I do feel an exciting energy coming in. I do feel this spiritual awakening that is reaching so many people right now. I mean, so many people are becoming awakened to this, and we have these platforms where we can reach each other and find our communities. So if you're feeling like you're ready for the next level, but something's holding you back, That's what it is. It's those things you don't want to do. It's the things that aren't fun. It's those things that weigh on you day to day. So let's go ahead and just make a promise to ourselves to knock those out. So that way we are ready for the next level. And I feel like that does go hand in hand with Virgo season, because Virgo is all about the details, the day to day, the work ethic. So just, make it a priority, make a promise to yourself that you're going to accomplish those things. That way you can get to where you really need to be. So you could really enjoy the fun things in life and the important things in life. All right, let's get some general energies here from the Cosmic Dreamscape Astrology Oracle. How are you feeling this week, my friends? Let me know in the comments. Okay. Let's see what energies are coming in for you this week. Okay. We've got water. Let the feelings flow. Okay. So maybe there's something deeper that's holding you back from these items. Maybe there's a deeper emotional reason that you find yourself struggling to complete them. Malefics, beware of challenges. So yeah, I feel like this really is a time that we need to face these challenges, that we need to make it a priority to overcome these obstacles. I know it's not the most fun message, but I'm coming here with this reading to give you a heads up so that this isn't, smacking you over the head, so that you have that bit of foresight to get these things taken care of. And then we've got ascendant. Take things at face value. So try not to make things more complicated than they are. A lot of times we can build things up in our head and it feels so much more difficult than it actually is. But if you take it step by step, take it at face value, don't think, oh, well, this will happen, don't let yourself get into that anxiety spiral. And also, don't delude yourself. So I'm feeling like you may be dealing with a relationship issue that's causing you to be in your emotions. And I find a lot of times that people in relationships will do whatever it takes to keep the delusion going. Things may not be right. Someone isn't treating you right. But, we like to come up with all these behind the scenes reasons for that, excuses for that person. And I feel like this is a reminder just to take it at face value. What really matters to you is your experience of it. I'm not saying that other person doesn't matter, but we all go through difficult times and we can communicate that. We don't have to treat others poorly because of it. And, I've been through difficult times recently, and I communicated with the people that were important to me to let them know what was going on. And I feel like that's the right thing to do. So don't get all up in your head and making up a bunch of stories or excuses for someone either. And there may be some challenging moments coming up. So just remember, if there is an argument, it's often good to kind of take a little bit of space to process your emotions on your own. That way you can come back to that person and have that conversation in a way that you'll be proud of. Excellent. So let's get opportunities that are coming in for my gorgeous collective this week. I would be so thrilled if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That way more people can see my videos and it really encourages me to keep going. Okay, so we've got Two of Cups. So you do have an opportunity to strengthen your relationships right now. If you are in a relationship and some sort of discussion or issue comes up, the way you handle that can really build trust with another person. And if you're not in a relationship right now, this is a good opportunity to meet someone. And it could be beyond the scope of romance. It could be someone that you're meeting that's really going to propel you in your business or in your social life. But this is really someone that you are connecting with on that soul level. The spirit is pouring down on both of their heads. It's making them both grow into better people than they were before. So be on the lookout for somebody like that who really gets you on that soul level, or, you know, that opportunity to strengthen your relationship through maturity. Then we've got the high priestess. So I really feel that you are opening up your intuitive gifts, that you are really delving into knowing yourself, that you are studying. A lot of times I will be reading a book or watching a television show, and there's a lesson from that that really reflects on my own life. I've been watching Lost, and there was a character that had a broken leg, and they didn't have any, you know, anesthesia or whatever, so they're fixing his leg, and he was in extreme pain at that time. But, you know, without that extreme pain of, you know, doing the surgery or the reduction, whatever it was, and fixing his leg, it never would have healed. And I feel like that's a really good metaphor for life, you know, that if we just stick around in this semi-painful area, kind of avoiding what needs to be done rather than facing it, getting that pain out of the way and letting things heal, then we'll be perpetually stuck in that state of just like a constant level of low level pain. And that's not a place you want to be in, you know? And so I really feel like the most growth in life comes from those painful moments and from facing those things and doing what needs to be done at the time. Then we've got the Queen of Cups. So this is really an opportunity to nurture yourself, to take care of yourself. You are the queen. You know, feel your emotions. Don't suppress them down. Journal, talk to a therapist, talk to a friend, process your emotions, grow from the experience. Don't let it pass you by. And then this can also be a person that you're meeting that is embodying these qualities of nurturing, you know, emotional maturity, care, and just loveliness, creativity, loveliness. This is somebody that when you see them, you feel like home. So whether that's something you're developing in yourself or maybe somebody that you are meeting or interacting with this week, really embrace the opportunity to be loving, to be caring, to step into your feminine side, because the high priestess is echoing that as well. Okay, challenges. Six of Swords. So you are needing to move away from something at this point in time, but it may be difficult. You know, maybe an emotional ending, and it may be something that really benefited you at one point in time, but it's just not the right fit for you now. You know, take it at face value. Look at it how it is now. You know, feel those feelings, but then separate them. You know, take the step back to kind of be logical, because this is an air card. So it's talking about our thoughts and coming into balance with our thoughts, and moving forward to the place that's right for us right now. And we've got the Three of Pentacles. So this is about building something as a team. This is about showing off your work. So there may be a little bit of frustration in your work environment or in your community where you're just feeling like you are not being appreciated as much as you should be, or there's a bit of that teamwork lacking. And it's really going to require you to step into that emotional maturity and to communicate well in order to move past that, and to just value yourself, you know, because people aren't always going to give us the acknowledgement that we deserve, but we can give that to ourselves. We can affirm ourselves, take a moment away, say something kind to ourselves in the mirror. And then Two of Torches. Yeah, so you're really needing to make a decision for the future. This person has two doors here. and there's a crack in between them. So it's almost as if, you know, you can't take both doors. And it could be that like once you take one path, the other path crumbles, and you can be feeling a bit lost in indecision, a bit lost in the planning of your life moving forward, and just having those emotional attachments really affecting you at this point in time. And having those challenges feel a bit like a roadblock, or you may be feeling a bit cloudy in your decision. But I feel like if you lean into your intuition, you'll know what to do. And a lot of times we feel those spiritual nudges, but we just ignore them because they don't seem practical or realistic, or they aren't matching the programming that we've been taught all our lives. So, you know, this is going to be something that is difficult to move away from, that's a little bit difficult to manage, but I know that you can do it. For your advice, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. So this is really about feeling stable in yourself. This is about knowing that you are the source. You know, you have all of your talents and abilities. You have all of your experiences that you've built up throughout the years. You have all of these resources, you know, even if maybe your bank account's not that full right now, but look around you. Look at all the resources around you. I know for me, I have so many decks, I have so many books, I have so many clothes, I have so much delicious food, you know, that I can sustain myself for a while. And this is just reminding you that you are stable, that you have built up that wisdom and experience, and that you do have like a loving support system around you. You know, maybe you have a pet like her cow in the picture, and you're feeling so nurtured and surrounded in the abundance of nature. So really lean into that feeling. And then also being a person, this could be a person in your life that maybe you need to connect with as well. So this could be a mother figure or a good friend, somebody like that, someone who makes you feel taken care of, you know? It's like the grandma that's always offering you food when you walk in the door. Then we've got the Ace of Swords. So really embrace your truth. And this may be a difficult truth for you, because we're seeing that kind of difficult decision and moving away from something with the emotional ties. I feel that this can just say like, you know, like take things for face value, like see the truth for what it is and don't shy away from that. You know, this can be a truth that hurts, but it's a truth that is leaning towards your greater good. And it's a truth that can't be ignored. You know, this is about a new beginning, and it packs a punch. You know, it's a weapon. It won't be ignored. It won't be shut down. And I feel like it really is your responsibility to wield that sword of truth at this point in your life right now. And then we've got the King of Pentacles. So we've got a couple here. You know, I really feel that your advice is to advance to that next stage, to really take ownership of those practical matters in your life, you know, to really develop into that person that, you know, they have a budget. They know what's going on with you know, every dollar that's coming in, every dollar that's going out. They know how to manage their resources, and you know, this couple knows how to lean on each other as well. They know how to use what is available to them. You know, I don't know, I'm just getting like community garden. So like maybe if you were struggling with, you know, having enough groceries, like maybe there's a community garden or a community pantry that you can go to. You probably have like a really good relationship with somebody who's very wise, who knows about resources, who knows maybe where to guide you. And it can be beyond just like basic necessity resources, you know, because I do feel like you're stepping into this higher spiritual path. So it can be somebody who really knows how to guide you along that path in practical matters as well. All right, let's go ahead and get a golden mantra for you today. Remember, mantras are meant to be said out loud. So go ahead and write this down, say it out loud with the video, repeat it, you know, over the next week and see what happens. You are really programming your mind through your words and your thoughts. So using these mantras, it may not seem like it, but it's going to make a huge difference in your life through your mindset. Okay, we've got my soul is a lighthouse that will help others find their way. So you are meant to be a guide. You are meant to be a mentor. You are meant to shine out into the world. And that's why it's so important to take care of these little details so that you can fully shine. So you can let that out into the world with nothing holding you back, without that anxiety coming through for you, just feeling light, feeling free, shining bright, because that's what you were meant to do. You are so important in this world. So say it again. My soul is a lighthouse that will help others find their way. All right. And then let's get a couple chakra love cards as well. Chakra love. Whew. It's a little hot here today. I got my glasses laying down my nose. All right. What do you want to say to us? Okay, we got a few here for you. So we've got journey. To enjoy the journey, let go of the outcome. So this is about your sacral chakra, and this is about enjoying the process. So whatever you're working towards in your life, don't be set on that like disappointment of it not happening right away, or don't be just only focused on the results. Enjoy it. You know, this is your higher path. This is your spiritual calling. So it should be something that you feel in your heart and that you truly enjoy and that lights you up. So enjoy the process of building it up. You know, what's at the end of life? It's only death. So we can't be so set on that end goal. We really should be in the moment a little bit more. Then we've got root chakra grounding. Sink your roots deep, connect them to the heart of the earth. So yeah, I feel like this is really setting up the foundations of your life, you know, making sure you have that solid connection. And I'm feeling a solid spiritual routine as well. Something that you do every day or every week, something that you do at every new moon and every full moon. Really put those into the earth. You know, a lot of times we're just thinking in the spiritual realm, we're thinking and feeling all the time, but we can ground it into this earth. That's what the spell work is for. You know, whether you're burning candles, your nature walks, whatever it is, following the cycle of the moon, you actually doing that physical ritual is what really concretes it into your reality. Then we have third eye chakra, destiny. Follow your instincts. They lead to the truth. So exactly, you're getting those nudges from the universe. You're getting those intuitive hits. So follow them. Don't ignore them. I feel like that's one of the worst things you can do, is just let those opportunities pass you by. Let those nudges from spirit pass you by, because your voice is definitely needed in this world. Your soul is a lighthouse that's going to help others. So not only is it going to enrich your life personally and the lives of those around you, but it's going to have a widespread reach, and your courage is going to shine out into the world. And I am so happy to give you that message. I hope it resonated. I am offering personal readings. Link will be in the description. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.